So I am out here today. I'm gonna try to do a garden tour with Max. We'll see how he does. A lot of the neighbors are outside like using their, lawnmowers and blowers and different trimmers and things. So he doesn't really like those noisy tools. So we'll see. Usually when they start those tools up, he kind of goes running back to the door and wants me to let him back inside. Yeah, there's lots of great things that are happening in the garden, and I have some time right now before we have to leave later today. I've been so busy at work. I traveled for 3 days down to the Springfield, Illinois area, and then also over to Richmond, Indiana, Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and then back home. And so I've just been really whooped at work, and I thought, you know what, it is beautiful out here. I mean, you can see the sun is just shining like crazy. Max is loving it, and I do have him off the harness, so he usually stays right by me, which is awesome. So we're gonna go walk down in the gully and see what happens. I might have to stop here and there though. If like I said, if he gets scared, I might have to bring him back inside. But all right, you ready, Max? You ready, bud? Or are you just gonna roll around on the warm cement? What do you think? You wanna go look? You go look at the garden? He loves to roll on that cement. All right, let's see if he follows me. Come on, bud. Let's go looking. So up here, there's not much going on, just some nice evergreen boxwoods. They are starting to fill out and put on some new growth here. So I will come in here probably in, I don't know, maybe like a week or two when I know there's not going to be any frost going on, and I'll give these a good trim. Gosh, I don't want to disturb what's going on in here, but I'm going to put out my camera stick here and see how close I can get. There's a bird nest in there. It's pretty cool. We won't get any closer than that. Buddy, Mr. Boy, let's go. Let's go show him. See, I think he might already want to go inside. You want to go back inside, buddy? You too scared? It's okay. Come on. Alright, we will just keep going and see. Maybe he'll follow us. But my roses are putting on tons of new growth. So cool. And my grasses that I cut back the other day, you can see they're starting to put on some green growth as well. Over here, I have got to come in here and basically just take off these dead blooms from last year. Usually they blow off in the wind, and I don't usually have to do very much to them. But I will probably come in here at some point and trim those back. My hosta are starting to pop up in here. This is my Halcyon hosta. It's looking great and healthy. All my heuchera are starting to pop up. We're gonna see how these catching fire heucherella do. They did not do very good last year out here, but that was because they hardly got any water. We went through like 3 weeks of a drought, and it was just a mess. It was a disaster last year. But look, the garden is looking really nice and colorful. Come on, buddy. He's still over there. He gets scared. He's pretty new to being outside. I'm gonna walk you guys down through the gully. Just a disclaimer, I have not come through here and weeded or cleaned or anything. I have no mulch down. This is just how it is. It's like the first week in May, and it's looking really great for not having hardly any mulch down here and not being able to get out here and weed. But I had to show you all the perennials, the early perennials that pop up that give me so much color. I haven't planted one thing yet this year, and I already feel like there's tons of color in my garden just from the Brunnera, hosta, some ground cover I have, heuchera, the penstemon, the allium. There's just so much color going on. Oh, the bleeding hearts. There's just, it's amazing. And like I said, I haven't planted one thing. So I really wanted to get out here and show you what it looks like. Max, let's go. Come on. buddy. Come on, you can do it. Give it a jump. Come on, boy. Come on. Mr. Boy. Mr. Boy. Come on. Hey. Oh, I wonder if he smells the chipmunks. The chipmunks dig holes all in through here. They're basically trying to kill my tree. Get 'em, bud. Get 'em. Jump. All right, well, Max is gonna do what Max is gonna do, I guess. He is like too busy scoping out all the amazing things that he's never been able to see. But I want to start at the bottom of the gully. I feel like we always start at the top, and we'll make our way up this time, and then maybe you can see like the beautiful blue sky in the background as we make our way up. First, I have to take you over here and show you my dump bed. These are spot on Pulmonaria. I got these at the end of the season last year for like, I don't know, $2 or something like that. They are beautiful, and I cannot wait to get these planted somewhere where they're going to live forever. And they actually look really pretty in this trio with this dark reader geranium, this chorus grass, and then again, like I said, this spot on Pulmonaria. But man, that is so pretty. And then I've got some extra Brunnera that are blooming over here as well. These Brunnera are just to die for in the spring. There's nothing like that color, well, besides a forget-me-not. But these are beautiful, and they bloom for so long. They've already been blooming for like probably going on 3 weeks now. Not kidding you. So anyway, coming over here, I think I've got some, I can't remember, but that might be caramel heuchera. And I had a third one in here, but it doesn't look like it's doing very well. Right here, this is a beautiful hosta. When it pops up, it's this lime green color, just super vibrant color. Over here, this is a Empress Woo hosta. This will be the 3rd year that I have this. Now, I want to show you guys something. Do you see that? Somebody bit on it. So I don't know if it was a rabbit, a deer. I do have a raccoon that kind of comes and hangs out here. I seen him out here the other day. It could have been him. But, you know, they just nibbled on it and were like, nah, I'm not sure about this. And they kept going. This right here is from cold damage. Come on, buddy. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, there he goes. All right, guys. The neighbor just started up his lawnmower and Max went running. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. I know. I know. You want to go inside? Come on. All right, I'll see you later, bud. You're my sweet buddy. I tried. He'll get used to it. One of these days he'll love it out here with me, and we can just hang out and plant all day long in the garden. All right, let's go back down to where we were. I think we were at that first hellebore. There's already tons of color in this little spot right here. My hellebores are still blooming. I think these, I'm not kidding you, you guys, these have probably been blooming for like 5 or 6 weeks. Well, not blooming. I guess they budded about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and they've probably been blooming for 3 weeks. They're so pretty. These hosta that I cleaned out around the other day, these are Francis William hosta right here. I've got one there, one coming up right there, and then one right there, but I believe that is a Blue Angel maybe, or a Elegance. And then up here, I've got another hellebore here, and then 3 hosta that are starting to pop up. These hosta are called Woo La La. So this is a Proven Winner Shadowland series, and they're kind of similar to the Empress Woo one I just showed you, but they don't get nearly as big. And then they also have a slight variegation on them. But this is another hellebore, and these are such cool plants. I love these so much, and I actually might split with that one here pretty soon and get some more chunks off of it. But this little area right here is starting to fill in a little bit. It's pretty exciting. This is all basically hosta, fern, and a few heuchera. So we'll get in closer so I can show you all of them popping up. Right down here I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrinkle in time. Up here, the fern is starting to pop through. These are a Japanese painted, well, let me see. I think it's a Japanese painted fern. Yeah, Japanese painted fern. These are beautiful, and they usually pop up a little bit later than the hosta starts popping up. Isn't that neat? I love this stage of the hosta, and look at that. Somebody ate that. I'm guessing it was a raccoon or a bunny. I think it was probably a raccoon, because what they do is they come in and they just try it out and then decide they don't like it, and they keep moving. They don't really touch anything else because nothing else looks touched in here. But anyway, look at all this color right here. I've got some great expectation hosta that are popping up, and then that fern that I showed you, that kind of wraps around here. Got 3 of them, and then a little heuchera there, and I can't remember if that's cherry truffles maybe. My mom got this one for me. Yeah, cherry truffles. So I usually will plant the new plants with their tag just so that I can remember what they are. And then once I get used to, you know, that this is a cherry truffles, I'll take the tag out. Coming up the hill here, again, I planted a bunch of heuchera last season from my mom. And let's see, I think this one is Timeless Treasure. This one I left the tag, and it's Primo Peachberry Ice. Really pretty one. This is just the tried and true Palace Purple. And then this one is called Magma. And that's another Timeless Treasure. You can see all the beautiful colors in here. And then around this tree, I've got tons of hellebore that are just still blooming like crazy. This hosta right here is a Sum and Substance hosta. This is probably my all-time favorite hosta. I just love it so much. It gets massive and huge. It creates such a great statement in the garden. If you're looking for just one hosta to, or even just one plant, a shade plant in general, to just make a huge impact in your garden and be a standalone plant, this is your guy right here. So in here last year, I got, I think 7 dressed up evening gown heuchera. They were, I don't know, like $2 or $3 at the end of the season, so I threw them in here to winter over. I usually plant annuals in this little section on the corner, so I might end up moving these, but the deer came in here, and I know you guys are always asking me about how I deal with my deer issues. I usually don't have deer issues in the summertime, but they do come in and eat a lot of my heuchera in the winter time. Well, they came in and they hacked at these plants so bad, but they're starting to flush out. So that's kind of what happens, is the deer will come in, they will eat my heuchera, and then it just takes them about 2 to 3 weeks to pop back. So you can see, like, this one compared to this did not get eaten by the deer, and it has a lot more growth on it. I have this Jack of Diamonds Brunnera in here. Again, it's got these really dainty, precious looking, just true blue flowers on it. Once it's done flowering, I usually come in here and cut these back, and then the plant just gets more broader leafed as it flushes out. Here is another couple Brunnera. This one is huge. Maybe I'll stand next to it so you can see how big it is. So this is how big this Brennera is. This is one Brennera right here, and then here's another one. I've got 3 more up here that are significantly smaller. I'm not sure why. I think maybe these ones get more water kind of running down the hill as the water runs off. They also get like a little bit more sunshine, so that could be the reason why. I'm not really sure. But man, these are so beautiful. And like I said, you guys, this has been blooming for a good 3 weeks. I'm not kidding. And even before the blue blooms on here, just it flushes out super soon in the spring. Pretty much right after my hellebore start blooming, these beautiful like silvery soft leaves start flushing out, and even the foliage is just absolutely gorgeous. And then also in here, you can hardly see them, but they're starting to pop up. This is another one of my favorite hosta. This is called a stained glass hosta, and they look really pretty up against the color of this wildberry heuchera, which got eaten by the deer. It will flush back out, it just might take a little time. Here's a nice little look at these Woo La La hosta. They're so pretty. Once they flush out, the edges get this really nice soft yellow variegation to them. They are a beautiful plant. And then back here I just have some variegated English boxwoods and some, I think that's a black beauty elderberry. I want to come in here this year and add a bunch of plants, probably some more hosta or hydrangea or something in here. I used to have some Annabelle hydrangeas, but I dug them up, split them, and transplanted them up there because they were kind of blocking this off. When I first started this garden bed, I started from like here over, and since then I've been making my way over that way. So they were blocking the way there. But let's go up and check them out and see how they're doing. And on the way, we'll stop by and take a little look at these bleeding hearts that are just so beautiful right now. These are such a joy to have in the garden. I feel like sometimes they get looked over or forgotten about in the garden centers because, you know, when you go to buy these, a lot of times they're already either sold out or it's past, you know, the season for these and you can't find them. But man, if you can find these in your garden centers, they're just such a joy to have planted. Such a neat plant. I love these because they remind me of my great granny's garden. She had the most beautiful gardens and she had these in her yard, and I just thought they were so neat. That heart-shaped, you know, I guess bleeding heart, that heart-shaped bloom on there is just unlike anything that you've really ever seen. It's such an old plant, but it is beautiful. Like the draping of it. I do have a third one right there, but I was digging in here last year and I think I probably disturbed it. That's why it's much more smaller. In through here, I've got some hosta. They're starting to pop up. I'll show you those. So there's that hosta. And then behind it, I've got some heuchera here. This heuchera was hiding last year. Gosh, I think I found it hiding like back behind some hosta. And so I moved it front and center right here in this Raccoon Alley path, which reminds me I got to get my Raccoon Alley sign back up that my little brother made me. This is a beautiful little spot too. So I've got like green from the boxwoods. I love the color, that like kind of bluish green sedum popping up with a mound, and then of course those hellebore are still just blooming, going strong. I've got some little dabs of heuchera in here to give it color. And then I've got some like blue-green hosta. I actually think this is blue Hawaii maybe. So this one is a really pretty blue color hosta. And then over here are my autumn frost hosta. This is one of my favorite, I would say smaller size, maybe small to medium size hosta. So much vibrant color all season long. Yeah, so that's kind of a little overview of that area. I hope it's coming across good on the camera, but I just want to show you guys that with the right perennials, man, you can have tons of color in your garden before you even get to planting, before you start spending money on stuff. We've got a little mixture of hosta in here, and I transplanted these 3 plants. I think they are Rudbeckia, and we'll see here when they bloom. I could go back and look, but I kind of want to be surprised. But these kind of just threw off little seedlings, and they were scattered throughout my garden. I went and collected them and put them in a little clump right here that I had a hole. So I think those are gonna look really pretty in here. I also have some first frost hosta in here, as well as June, I think. So I think those are June and those are first frost. Over here, I've got some Ben Verneuil hosta popping up. These are very similar to the autumn frost hosta that I have over there, except for they're not the proven winter brand, so they're a little bit cheaper. You can see the similarity in the leaves. They're so pretty. And behind this really nice chartreusey variegated color, I've got some Primo Black Pearl Heuchera. So when these start to pop up, they will look really nice, contrasting against this Ben Verneuil hosta. This is something that the deer got to too, so we'll see how it does. So my hydrangea, I transplanted these hydrangea last year. Again, excuse all the weeds, you guys, I gotta get out here and clean them up, but I pulled these hydrangea down from that area I was just talking about, and I lined them across the way here, and they're doing great. I'm really hoping that they put on some blooms here. Right in through here, I have, I believe this is City Lights maybe, hosta, I can't remember, but they're all 3 the same kind. I'm hoping they're the same kind, because last year I went and transplanted that one, hoping it was the same kind as these, so we'll see. But yeah, these hydrangea are looking really great for being split in the middle of the summer and transplanted. But look at all the color here from this view. So you can see the color of the hellebore there, the tiny bits of green and yellows of hosta popping up, the ground covers and heucheras, and it's just so much color being this early in the spring. Now, in through this area, I have some hosta planted. Last year, some of them just didn't come up, which usually doesn't happen for me. So I'm not sure if, like, you can see there's some holes in here. I feel like there might be like a little chipmunk or something digging holes in here. I'm not really sure. That could be why. Maybe they're eating the roots of the hosta. But my boxwoods are doing good. I am gonna have to come in here and prune these back as well pretty soon. We did have some frosty nights. Some of these hosta suffered a little bit, but it's not terrible. They're gonna pull out of this no problem. They're pretty hardy plant. My hellebore are still blooming. I sound like a broken record over here with these hellebore, but man, they are just a really, really amazing plant. This little guy I got on the side of the road for free. Somebody threw it out. It's cast iron, and I usually put like a little planter on top of it. I love this little patch of ajuga, and it keeps spreading, and I think this year I'm going to take some chunks off of it and put it in my secret garden that I'm going to be working on. I still have the tag in here too. Let's see what it's called. Paradise. But this started out as like a tiny little plant, like a tiny little 4-inch plant, like maybe 2 years ago, and that's how big it's gotten. So I will have to try to control it a little bit, but it's not like crazy, so I don't mind it. I have a bunch of astilbe planted in here that I transplanted last year. It wasn't doing good in the spot I had it, so I moved it. These hosta in here, I feel like these are gonna need a split this year. You can see the middle is kind of like dying out, and I've had these in here These are one of the first things I planted in my garden. These actually, when we first built our house and moved in, I worked for a different perennial company, and at the end of the season every year, instead of throwing all the plants out, they would let us take home whatever plants were left in the stores. And usually it was just a lot of like hosta that, you know, nobody bought at 50% off. And so I took a bunch of it home. Well, like I said, we were still kind of building our house and we weren't ready to put in any landscaping yet. So I just didn't know what to do with them, and I chucked them into the valley in the back there. And then the following year, I looked out there and all these hosta were popping up, growing everywhere. And I felt so bad. So I got my wagon and my shovel. I went down there and I collected them all. And I said, what am I going to do with these? And that's when I came over to this side of the house. I started digging out all the shrubs and the bushes and all the crap. And I said, I'm going to make a garden, and I'm going to jam pack it full of all these hosta. So I started finding rocks that were just in my yard from our house being built, started lining a path, and blue halcyon hosta are some of the first hosta that I planted. So they've been in here for, I don't know, about 7 years, and going on 7 years, so it's probably about time I give them a good split. Coming over here, these are another really beautiful hosta. I've also had these in here for about 7 years too. But these are called Captain Kirk. They start out like this color and then they turn a more darker, they're still variegated, but it's more of a darker like bluish color. So they're really neat. And then the stem, I don't know if you can tell, but the stem there, it stays really red throughout the summer. And it almost turns like a purplish color as well. So these are really interesting, neat hosta. They also get a deep purple bloom on them. I love the hosta blooms. Over in here you can see some astilbe and hosta color and heuchera, so that's pretty neat. Then again, I've got some brunnera over here. This brunnera is called Alexander the Great, I believe. A lot of the brunnera at this stage, when it first pops out, it looks very similar. And then as it, you know, loses its bloom and I cut it back, ooh, it's getting windy. As it loses its bloom and then I cut it back, it starts to look different from the other varieties. So each leaf set is a little bit different shape, a little bit different color and variegation. So, but like I said, at this point they all kind of look the same. So it's really neat how these plants just progress through the weeks of the summer. I'm really excited to see how this rainbow garden turns out this year. I have had, goodness, these blue mouse ear hosta in here for years, and behind it I've always just kind of planted some annuals, and I thought, how cool would it be to plant a rainbow of perennial color. So I've got a couple different types of heuchera in here. I believe I've got Georgia peach right up front. Then behind that I have some Japanese painted fern. Behind that I've got some primo black pearl, and then some autumn frost hosta that I split last year. So this autumn frost hosta, you can see I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. I think I started out with 3 plants, and last year I split them up and now I've got 7. So it's just amazing how far you can make your plants go. I love the contrast of these colors and the foliage, and then look at this. Once I add that primo black pearl heuchera in there, it just looks really neat. So again, these were attacked by the deer, so they're taking a little bit longer to pop back, and I believe these were just recently attacked by the deer. When we had a snowfall, they came over here and bit some of these stems off, but I probably won't see that coming through the rest of the summer. Over here I've got some more hosta popping up with some heuchera. This is a Queen of Hearts brunnera. It looks exactly the same as that Alexander the Great and the Jack of Diamonds. I thought I'd get a little close-up of this contrast right here. It's pretty neat. This is the Georgia peach, the primo black pearl, and the autumn frost. And then I've got a Japanese painted fern popping up here in a line. So we'll see how this goes. I usually come out here and I'll put like one of the evergreen pots that I have sitting up on my porch right there. But all in through here is just flooded with hosta. All kinds of just like a sea of hosta. So I'm not really sure what they all are until they pop up. And then I've got some more Brunnera here, kind of leading the way up this path. Around this tree, I've got some more blue halcyon hosta that probably could use split this season. Over here, I have some carex that the deer ate this kind of winter spring. So those are kind of trying to make their way back. Up in here, I've got some heuchera. I believe that's a mahogany monster. And then this is just that creeping Jenny Lysimachia. This is the, I believe it's just the Palace Purple heuchera. We'll get closer to that in a second, but I wanted to show you my astilbe here. This is a dark leaf astilbe that was new last year. It's called Dark Side of the Moon, and I've got 2 of them here that came back. These were looking really rough at the end of the season, and I got them on like a super clearance deal, so we'll see how they do. I thought I had 3 of them, and I think I actually do have 3 of them. It's just one of them is struggling to make a return here. So there's evidence of it. It's living, but we'll just have to give it some time. I think this one, if I remember right, was the worst one of them all. Backing up here, I've just got a ton of heuchera in here. My daffodils are done blooming, so once those are, you know, completely done, there's tons of hosta in here that will start popping up. But over there, you can see these pretty Fire Island hosta. It's a really neat yellow color. There's an astilbe right there. These are Francis William hosta. Let's see, I've got a Sum and Substance hosta popping up over there, a couple of them, and then these ones that you can't really see in here yet are Drinking Gourd. But then in through here, I planted a bunch of heuchera last season. I don't know, I think I've got like, what was it? I can't ever remember. Let me look at the tag. Peach Flambe. So there's Peach Flambe, and then there's also Pink Panther and Cherry Truffles. These are Lady's Mantle here. This is what it looks like from this side. Tons of color. Over here, I love this. This is just a tried and true Palace Purple heuchera. So pretty and glossy, and I love the kind of texture on the leaf. Over on this side, I've just got some boxwood. This is a salvia right here that gets a really pretty blue color on it. This, I believe, is a magma heuchera. And right up here, I've got 3 Tough Stuff hydrangea, and they are the red. Another Brunnera right here for some color. Now, right in through here, the chipmunks have just tunneled. I think I'm gonna come in here and dig this whole area up and see what's going on in there, but you know, we'll hope that that Tough Stuff hydrangea can make it through. You can see it did get some frost damage here. We have had, like I said, a few frosty nights, but I'm thinking it should pull through because there's tons of new growth down there as well. This hosta is looking beautiful. This is a City Lights hosta. And then through here I have Remember Me hosta. We've got some wee white hydrangeas making an appearance, as well as some neon sedum. Going up through here, I have the Lady's Mantle that takes you into a Pink Panther. I think that's a caramel, and then back behind the caramel heuchera, there's Primo Black Pearl. We'll get a close-up on these. These are really pretty. And when it rains, these like hold the rain bubbles. This is that Pink Panther. This is the caramel. And some straggler peonies that I need to dig out and give to my sister. And this is a Primo Black Pearl. So it's looking really pretty in here with just these, you know, popping bits of color. I might have to come in here and split that Sum and Substance. I've had that for about 7 years as well, and it's getting pretty big, which is a good thing. I love how big it's getting. But if you can see in the center there, sometimes they start to like die back. So what I'll do is I'll dig this up, and then I'll probably split it right in there into either 2 or 3 chunks. But over here you can see that beautiful Fire Island hosta. Let's get a close-up on that. These are really neat hosta, and kind of like with the Captain Kirk, they've got the red stems on them. They don't stay this chartreusey green all summer long, but man, in the springtime when they pop up like this, it is beautiful. Around this bird feeder that my brother made me, I have some boxwoods that I got for $2 a piece at the end of the season. And then this is super weedy, you guys. I gotta clean this up, but I don't know if you can tell, there's I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue fescue grass that reseeded themselves on the other side of my house. So I brought them over here. So that creates a really nice color and contrast as well. Coming up here, I'm just loving how the allium and the penstemon look. It's really neat. And I'm really excited too because this lupin is doing pretty good. There's one little plant that is struggling, but the other 2 are doing really well. I got these at the on sale last year as well, and I wasn't sure how they do because I've tried lupin before and they didn't really do well for me, but those ones came back. Around here I have a wild rose heuchera, and this one is very similar to my favorite heuchera, which is the wild berry, and I usually can't tell them apart unless they're right next to each other. This is a penstemon. These are beautiful plants as well. I love these. So that's kind of what we went through. This tour is probably getting really long, so we'll probably only do the gully for today. And then coming up here, I've kind of got to get in here and control some of this creeping Jenny. What I like to do is each spring dig some of it out and put it in my planters and pots. So I'll need to start doing that. Last year, my husband and I, we came in here and put this dappled willow tree, and it is doing great. Underneath this, we planted 3 Oh So Easy Urban Legend roses, and then also 3 hibiscus, and I'm blanking on which variety that was. I can't remember what heuchera this is, and it doesn't look like I left a tag or it blew away or something, but I planted these last season as well. Down here, my roses are doing pretty well. I came in and cut them back the other day, so they're doing nice. We'll give them a little time to put on some growth. My lamb's ear is doing really great too. And oh, my Guanzan cherry tree is starting to leaf out. I got this for 30% off. Wasn't sure how it would do, but it is leafing out. It looks really pretty. So that's promising. But the lamb's ear right underneath it is really neat. I didn't even think about that, but that orange and blue together looks really cool. I didn't even plan that. A lot of stuff I don't really plan. And through here last season, I got this on sale as well. This is Timeless Glow, maybe? But it's a really pretty chartreuse heuchera, and I believe it's called Timeless Glow. Over here, I'm hoping that, oh my gosh, yes! All right. So it happened again. The Cleome reseeded itself, and I'm so excited about this. I let it go to seed again because in this area right here, the Cleome just kind of grows up, and I kind of take the seedlings and I put them all in this area too. I did that last year at least, and it looked really beautiful. So I'm hoping to do that again this year with all that Cleome that reseeded itself. You guys are asking about my roses, and they're doing pretty great. I am not like huge into knowing a lot about roses. I just planted a few last year for the first time, so we'll see how they do. But I cut some of my climbing rose off. This is the Generous Gardener, and it's starting to leaf out again, so that's good. I'm hoping that it eventually climbs up this trellis here. It kind of got a late start last year. So that is the garden. If you look close, you can see all the beautiful colors, and it's just the first week of May. Haven't even planted anything yet.
This is my story. This is my song. Praise you, my Savior, all the day long. This is my story. This is my song. Praise you, my Savior, all the day long. Perfect submission, all is at rest. I am my Savior, happy and blessed.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like an hour long, so I'm going to cut it off here, and we'll get the rest on a different day. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. And I was actually watching, or I don't know what it was, but Teresa on the West Fork, she's a cute gal that I like to watch, and she's a gardener as well. And she posted something the other day, and it said something like, I'm probably going to massacre this, but it said something like, one of the most important jobs of a gardener is to just look. And I thought, that is so true. Sometimes you just need to go out, walk through your garden, and just look at everything. Just experience everything in all the different stages. You don't always have to be going out and working. Sometimes it just really pays to just take a little stroll through your garden and appreciate all the things that are happening out there and just look. Thank you, Teresa, for giving us that wonderful reminder, and I hope it's okay that I share it with everybody on here, because I just thought that was so powerful, and it really struck me in the moment when I read that. So I appreciate you posting that. And I've been so busy. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to come out here and appreciate anything, and I haven't been able to just like sit back and enjoy God's creation and what's happening in my garden. And when I read that, boy, thank you so much, because I literally looked out the window and I seen it in a different light, and I said, you know what, Jessica, there's joy in just looking. It's okay that you don't have time to get out there. It's okay that you got a lot of other things going on. You put in a lot of hard work already through the years, and just enjoy what you see right now. So anyway, I feel like I'm a broken record at this point, but I think my friend Spike, the cat, came to visit me for the first time this spring. Buddy, hi! Hi, buddy! I missed you! I know! What you been doing? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're just a good boy, huh? Did you have a good winter? I sure missed you. You're my buddy. Yeah. I missed you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And as Teresa said, I hope that you can just get out in your garden and just go have a look and enjoy all the hard work that you put in. Bye. Have a wonderful day. You gotta come meet my Maxie sometime. Yeah. You guys could be friends. Show him the ropes out here. Mr. Sneaky Boy. Sneaky boy. Sneaky boy. You having fun, buddy? You having fun?